I want to talk today about how we pack for Europe with 2 autistic kids.
We're the Beyond Boundaries family, parents of 3 amazing kids, including 2 with autism. We share our journey of adoption, parenting, and traveling the world just to prove that anything is possible. Subscribe and join us on our journey.
Hi everybody. So here we are again. Say hi, Evan. We have plans to go to Europe. We have 2 autistic sons. One of them is right here, nonverbal, level 3 autism with cognitive delays. And then we have a second son who is a level 2 autistic child. I want to talk today about how we pack for Europe with 2 autistic kids. Because packing for a trip with our sons is not like packing for a regular vacation. If we miss one detail, our whole entire trip could literally fall apart, like literally. And the things that we pack, I'm going to get into that. This will probably surprise you. Most families start with clothes. We start with survival. The things that keep our boys regulated in unfamiliar places. I'm really talking about this one because my other son is pretty resilient when it comes to sensory things. He's not as sensitive as this guy here. Luckily, we've had a lot of experience traveling with him, and it will be Sebastian's, our other son's, first time traveling on a plane. Really excited to see what his experience will be like. I think he's gonna love it. For us, survival means bringing little chewy tubes, which I think the dog took the chewy tube. We gotta get another one. And sensory toys. We have a few sensory toys that have to be quiet because there's nothing more annoying than sitting at an airport or on an airplane where somebody is fiddling with a noisy toy that nobody wants to hear with some of the toys that he has. So food is next. Evan, our nonverbal son, is on a gluten-free, high-protein diet with very low sugar whenever possible. So we pack his safe foods. Now we're going to a completely different country that we have never been before. And so we are bringing packages of protein bars, gluten-free snacks, and any other high-protein foods that can keep him feeling satiated. Trust me, him being hangry plus autism is not the combination that anyone would want on a 14-hour flight. Next comes our Airbnb survival kit. We've literally had to shrink wrap delicate blinds on windows at an Airbnb because we were so afraid that he would destroy them. He would either eat it, lick it, pull it, or do something sensory with it. So every time we walk into an Airbnb, we scope the place to make sure there's nothing that Evan can destroy. Usually it's the other way around. We want to scope the place to make sure our kids are safe. No, we want to scope the place to make sure that Airbnb is safe from our son's mouth. Right, Evan? So another thing I want to talk about is swimming. There's pools in the hotels that we might be staying at, and we put swim diapers on him, and like the disposable ones, just in case there's an accident. He's really good with letting us know, like he'll get out of the pool and start grunting if he needs to use the restroom. But we want to make sure that all emergencies are taken care of. So when we go traveling and we think there might be an opportunity to go into the water, we have to bring not only a swim diaper, but also a waterproof, like something to put on top of the swim diaper so it's extra protected. Now, my son is 12. He's taller than me. He's almost 100 pounds. Where are you going to find? It's the same kind of swim diaper. It's the same kind of swim diaper that toddlers will wear before they're potty trained. Now, I had to do some makeshifting and some creativity because they didn't have any swim diapers that was big enough to fit his body. So I ordered the biggest diaper I could find, and then I sewed it. So here it is. This is a swim diaper, but it was a small diaper, like it's a small diaper, like this. And I took an old underwear with a nice rubber durable garter that was very, very tight, but not uncomfortably not uncomfortably tight. And then I sewed, I'm no seamstress, so just don't mind my messy stitching. But I sewed like the sides right here so that it would be big enough to fit around his legs and his waist. And so these worked wonders. And so we're bringing these just in case, because you never know if there's going to be a hotel with a hot tub and a pool, and I will be kicking myself if I don't have these. It's so easy to buy the kids like cheap swimsuits anywhere in the world, but not always easy to find these. So I'm packing these. Okay, now I want to talk about paperwork. So I have an autistic nonverbal son, and I have another autistic son who is in the process of still being adopted. We had to jump through hoops to get permission from the court to take him out of the country. So first we needed to get him a passport. And in order to get him a passport, we needed court approval. So we needed to have that done first. And in order to do that, we needed first to get permission from his caseworker. And then on top of that, we then had to book our flights, get our accommodations arranged, and then give them the itinerary, and then they would go to court again to get permission from the judge to take him out of the country. It was a little nerve-wracking because, like, what if they said no? Like, there was no reason they would say no, as far as I know, as far as the social worker knows. But can you imagine booking your flight and not knowing whether or not your kid was going to be allowed to go? So that was kind of nerve-wracking. On top of that, I always bring digital and printed out proof of my son's diagnosis. And my second son, who's in the process of being adopted, I have to go and find where his original diagnosis was from the psychologist and bring that as well. Because there are often times where you go into a museum or you get to ride some kind of like transportation system in a foreign country, and they either get in for free or they get discounts. In some museums, they usually get a discount for like museums or like kids kind of attractions, a significant discount. It's usually like something like 50% off or something. And on top of that, they know that people like him require a caregiver. So then a caregiver gets to go in for free as well. So that usually means he gets 50% off. One of us as adults gets to go in free. So that's why it's important to bring proof. Here's something else that might surprise you. There's something most people would never think of. So we actually pack door alarms, portable locks, even tape. Yes, painter's tape. Why? Because when you have a child who sometimes spontaneously acts like an escape artist, safety has to travel with you. So we've had to do some pretty creative things to keep hotel room doors shut when we sleep. There was one actual time where Evan was looking for the restroom, and we were so tired after traveling that we all just like got into the hotel room and went to sleep. And it seemed obvious to all of us where the restroom was, but to Evan it wasn't. To Evan, it was not obvious at all. Right, Evan? So, we're in a hotel room. Evan had to use the potty. We were all sleeping. We were all very tired and in deep sleep. He went out the front door of the hotel. Yeah. Not only did he do that, he got locked out when he realized that going out the front door was not the bathroom. You know, hotel rooms, they lock automatically, so he couldn't get back in. We were all sound asleep. Oh my gosh. I woke up to use the restroom maybe at 5 in the morning, and I heard Evan. And the hotel room is one room with a bathroom, right? And I woke up, I looked in the bathroom, Evan was not in the bathroom, but I still heard him. So he was in a different room. But because the hotel only has one room, I'm like, oh my gosh, where is he? I'm looking all over for him. Why does it sound like he's in a different room? Finally, I'm like, oh no. I opened the front door of the hotel room, and there's our son. And poor guy, he was just sitting out there for I don't know how long, Luckily, he didn't leave. I think he was actually, because we saw his trail. We saw a trail of, he had defecated all over the hotel room, or not hotel room, all over the hallway. And then he was trying to go back and forth, trying to figure out how to get back in our room. And I don't think he even knew what our room was, where our room was. So he had like fingerprints on several different doors. We got the manager of the hotel involved. They had the cleaning crew out there. We worked it out with them. They were very understanding, and we were so apologetic. And after that day, this was years ago when this happened, after that day, we always make sure that we have a door alarm or some kind of lock. And sometimes it's impossible to try to figure out how to keep a door shut, so we have to get creative. We have to put ironing boards in the way, or we have to put things in the way that if he tried to open the door, it would all fall and wake us up, you know? A lot of hotel rooms, all you need to do is like crank the door handle down and it opens for you automatically. But when you shut it, it bolts it automatically for you from the outside. But it's not safe if a kid can just go like this and walk out the front door. And that's what happened. I think I was way too long-winded about that. Packing for Europe, or actually packing for any kind of trip with two autistic kids, looks very different. But every odd thing in our suitcase gives us the freedom once we're there. We don't have to shop for a hardware store to look for tape or locks or anything like that. Autism doesn't ever stop us from enjoying life and doing fun, unconventional things. It just means that we have to prepare differently. If any of this resonates with you, please follow our journey. We're sharing our journey so in hopes to inspire and have other families that might feel stuck, might feel like life has to be lived within a box because of a diagnosis. And we are here to show everybody that it doesn't have to be that way. Right, Evan? All right. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, like and share so that we could be exposed to more families and build a like-minded community. Thank you all so much.